everybody, welcome back to Recordology. This is gonna be awesome. Okay, I've been looking forward to bringing this show to you for a while. It's been in the works for a while. This is gonna be really fun, really satisfying. Today, we are taking a look at a vintage 1960s battery-operated turntable that packs an amazing punch. You're not gonna wanna miss this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we have on the show this awesome little Philips record player. It's portable, it's battery operated. It is an all-in-one vintage unit, and I'm super excited to share it with you. It's got some surprises. Make no mistake, this thing has plenty of surprises, actually. This was a gift from a friend, and that friend was so kind as to even go in, recap it, put a new speaker in it, all that good stuff. Still needs a thing or two, but we're going to take care of it. So it's about the size of a shoebox cassette recorder. It is fairly hefty. It doesn't have any batteries in it at this moment, but it's pretty hefty. So you can see like the grill, there's obviously a speaker enclosure, this some sort of semi-flexible plastic handle. This is another release clip for the speaker part that will come off there. On the back, we've got the battery compartment. This thing takes a monstrous amount of big batteries. These are D cells, 6 of them. And if you look up here on the sticker, we might be able to see some information. This is the type AG4000/01 with the serial number. A little bit of corrosion there on the terminals, nothing too drastic, nothing too unexpected. So let's start off by putting some fresh batteries in. I was trying to think of the last time I bought D cell batteries, and I think it's been quite a while, probably since I owned a flashlight, an incandescent flashlight. All right, so we're going to pull out the required number of these. All right, and just like that, we are ready to go. So there's this towel in here that acts as a little bit of a, instead of the sponge, which is long gone, this kind of gives it a little bit of damping effect. All right, so batteries are in there. As you can see on the bottom here, there's no rubber feet or anything. I mean, this is a plastic portable unit. It has gone through a modification here. So previous owner did put an audio output on it, which is really cool. So we've got an 1/8" audio out. We could do a direct feed sound test, couldn't we? That's an interesting thing. Maybe we'll do that in the future. Today, I want to review it for what it is. Like I say with portables, I really like the idea of demonstrating the portable for being a portable record player, right? So let's give it a sound test as designed. I'm going to lift up on both sides. And this whole piece is going to come off, revealing the main part of the turntable. Under here, this is the speaker enclosure. As I said earlier, it does have a new speaker in there. Apparently at one time it belonged to Rick Bellany. And this is a 45 adapter, which is a pretty handy dandy place to put it. I love these old braided cables here. As you can see, you can unhook it from this side to give you a little bit more length. For now, I'm going to sit this guy off to the side. And this, obviously, being the main part of the turntable itself, it's very well suited to a 16:9 aspect ratio that we're shooting today. It's shaped like that, which is really, really cool. And still taped down because it was shipped to me. So as you can see, it says Philips made in Holland, which is really, really neat. It is 3 speeds, so we've got the 3-speed selector switch down here. And this being the platter, obviously, there is an aftermarket rubber platter mat on there with just a hole stamped in there. I'm sure this was originally something else, but it gets the job done. Not 100% sure what the original platter mat was like. This is, not sure if that's steel or aluminum, probably aluminum actually, but feels pretty heavy. To get under there, we're going to need to remove this clip. It looks like a paper clip, but it's actually the way it was designed there. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it in terms of controls. Now, obviously, we're missing something on that tone arm. As you can see, it's incomplete, but not to worry. We happen to have in our possession, currently in bubble wrap, the actual head shell assembly, and we'll look at the styli for it and go from there. Okay, so here is the compatible yet non-original head shell assembly with the cartridge in it. This is the 3310 Diamond AHEW. This is a flip cartridge, and we've seen these before. This particular one doesn't flip between micro groove and wide groove for playing 78s. It switches between LP and diamond tipped LP. However, I do have some alternative styli for this, including a 78 compatible stylus. So there's a lot of fun things we'll be able to do with this turntable, and with it being recapped and with it having a new speaker, completely new old stock styli, new condition cartridge, all this good stuff. Now let's take a look under the hood. So I told you that there's this little clip here, and it just comes off like that, and that should allow us to remove the platter and take a look underneath. Ooh, this is really heavy, surprisingly heavy, which is great. This will give us great stability and speed consistency. This is fantastic. I really wish my Crosley Revolution, that little Soundburger looking thing, had a metal platter, especially a heavy one like this, because that would be much better on the wow and flutter department. But this is great to see. So if we look under here, this is indeed a belt-driven device. Look at this. Here's a date code, 18, which would be week 18 of 1965. Or no, maybe that's February, because there's an 02 on the left. February 18th, 1965, perhaps. Very, very interesting. Pretty clean under here. As you can see, for testing purposes, there is a little rubber band. You don't want to do that for a long period of time, because rubber bands are much more stretchy and they'll just break. Sometimes they'll melt. So that is a short-term solution. But as you can see, there's an idler wheel and belt-driven assembly here, and we need a new belt. So unfortunately, the place to get these belts is from a guy in France on eBay. Fortunately, that has already taken place. So here we go. We do have new belts to put on this thing. As you can see, it only needed the one belt, but we do have both belts. So why not go ahead and put two fresh belts on there? That's what we're going to do. I bet you that's supposed to go over here like that. Okay, cool. I should have paid. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. Okay. I should have paid better attention when I was taking off the old one. I get too excited about these things. Now you'll notice, and probably experienced if you've done these before, that square belts have a tendency to roll. So trying to get them from twisting is good. See, that one just kind of untwisted itself there. So trying to get them to lay uniform will help make sure the speed is as accurate as possible. But I think we're pretty much ready to go. Very cool and fun to know that this is going to have completely fresh belts. It's going to have completely fresh caps and a brand new speaker. And we are going to hopefully be able to enjoy this thing for another 50 some odd years if I can get this clip on. There we go. I would like to find a better platter mat at some point, but yeah. So I guess it's time to test it out. Super excited to do so. So let me get a record and we'll go to town. That's what it must be. Yeah, that's to stow the arm when the lid is closed. Okay, so we put that down. We're going to start with a full 12-inch record. Yes, you can use a full-size record on this. 33 RPM. I'm going to put on the front-facing mics right now so we can hear the speaker as it is, fills the room or doesn't. You know, we're going to listen to it ambiently. And we're going to try the two different stylus settings on there, the diamond and non-diamond tip. Interesting. It's definitely got a lot of volume. I mean, this thing has some serious punch. Let's try to flip the stylus. I'm going to put it on. That was the diamond side. So this is the non-diamond. So it's assumedly a sapphire tip. A little bit of wow and flutter there. A little bit indeed, but this is cool. This is very, very cool. So let's go ahead and try some other type of records on here. I've got the platter off, obviously, at this point. Let's go ahead and turn it on and kind of see up close how it works there. Looks like the belt's on there good. I did reference the way it was put together before I changed the belts, and it was done correctly. That's 45. I'm gonna go down to 33. Interesting. So it doesn't really want to grab. It's like the idler wheel is slipping a little bit, which is really interesting. And that's what's driving the platter. But you know what? I bet you once the platter is in place, this is kind of moved closer and it actually does a better job when the platter is in place. So I actually don't think that's the issue. But if we go, that's 45 and then down to 78. See how it uses the geometry of those different brass pulleys? Very interesting. It's a combination of idler drive and belt drive. So from everything I see, it should work fine. There's a single speed motor, so it's not a matter of, you know, different speed settings on the motor. It is a static speed. And that push rod right there goes straight over to the switch. So when I activate the switch, it's pulling it into these different positions based on what speed I'm choosing. Pretty cool stuff. Interesting also to see how the switch of the tone arm itself kind of activates and deactivates the mechanism. It's an ingenious little device. So when you do switch it off, the idler wheel goes into a neutral position, which makes room for the thick lip of this thing, the platter itself. So I'm going to put this back on. Now that we've ensured the belt is, resting the way it should, everything seems to be as we want it. By the way, I've got the lavalier back on, so if the sound is a little distant, you know why. But you get the idea. I mean, it's a little speaker. It's not going to blow you away sound quality-wise, but it's full. It definitely sounded full and listenable. All right, putting on Emil's telegraphic again, and we're going to flip this to 45 and see if the wow and flutter is improved. That sounds better to me. That sounds much better to me. Let's flip the stylus again, see if we can hear anything between the sapphire and the diamond tip. On this level of speaker, I really honestly can't. I just can't. Okay, so let's turn this off. Try a couple other things. This is perfectly suited, so far as I can tell, to playing kids 78s. By the way, if you ever wondered what Mitch Miller did before all those millions of Mitch Miller records you find at the thrift store, it was the Sandpipers, Mitch Miller and Orchestra, featured on almost every single Little Golden record, and really cool stuff, very collectible. This is a 5-inch disc, I believe, and it's yellow because that's the color that we associated with kids records. By the way, if this does look gorgeous for a old 50s kids record, you wouldn't be wrong. I did watch this in the spin clean the other day. It's amazing how it shined up. It looks gorgeous. And we're going to flip it to 78. A little skip. Let's go ahead and put a 78 stylus on this and compare how it sounds with a proper 78 stylus. Here you can see the double tip, the stylus, the one on the right being the micro groove, the one on the left being the wide groove for 78. So I'm going to go ahead and put this guy on and we'll give it a listen, and then we can compare between the two, which is really neat. So let's go ahead and snap that on. I love how that just snaps on. It's obviously very simple operation there. This is the micro groove. And as you can tell, it still has that kind of wispiness in the back. Now, with the proper 78 stylus. Still has some noise, but there's much fuller bass tones. And same little skip there as well. Since we can play 78s, why don't we play like an old-fashioned 78 RPM 10-inch shellac record? Here's a record that's making its debut here on Recordology. This is Vocalion A24034, Heaven at the End of the World by Colin O'More. This is a beautiful brown Vocalion record, 78 RPM, and with the proper stylus on here. Let's give it a little bit of a listen. Let's flip it over and give the flip side a listen. This is Because of You, B24034. And we're going to find the middle there. And this thing really needs a dusting. So here we go. Let's get it spinning. Use our carbon fiber brush. This is cool. This is fun, you guys. This is fun. And again, if I flip this back to LP mode, listen to how the bass tones just disappear. Very interesting stuff. So there it is, you guys. This is the Philips all transistorized 1963, 1965, what was it? Anyway, 60s era battery operated plastic portable 3-speed record player with a set of needles, new belts, new caps, all that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully this kind of, brought back a core memory for you, maybe as a child getting into vinyl, or maybe your grandparents, your parents, children, whoever had one of these. I would love to hear all about it in the comments down below. After this thing warmed up and I played a few records, I feel like the wow and flutter has resolved because it sounds fine now to me. All right, my friends, and that is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining us once again. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up and strap yourselves in, buckle your seatbelts, because things are about to get crazy here on Recordology as we enter the month of December soon. That's right, it's Recordology Vlogmas, our 4th year, and we've got some amazing surprises coming your way, including a healthy amount of record player giveaways that you're not going to want to miss. So make sure you're subscribed, your notifications are turned on. Also, that'll help you not to miss when we go live, because we did one of those the other day and gave away a record. We've given away a lot of records lately, and you want to be a part of that, I assure you. So don't miss out. Make sure you're subscribed, thumbs up, all that good stuff. But that's going to do it for now, my friend. Happy record hunting. We'll see you next time.